Act 2 sequence, or re-entry to infinity. I am not dead? After recovering from the endless pain and darkness, Xiaosheng was shocked to realize that he still had consciousness and a body. Is this? He looked around in disbelief and found that the surrounding furnishings, the place, and the time on the alarm clock all seemed extremely familiar and unfamiliar to him. This is his bedroom. March 5th, 2012. Looking at the alarm clock in disbelief, he touched his chest and found that his infinite crystal was not there at all. He searched carefully and saw a six-sided crystal on the table not far away. The crystal was colorless and had a very ordinary shape. It was one of those ordinary works that was worthless. But it was this thing that brought him into the world of endless reincarnation, and it was also because of this thing that it gave him hope for a new life. Maomuma ah. He suddenly laughed wildly, with an expression of endless ridicule and sadness on his face, and his black eyes were like broken dams, with tears constantly dripping from them. Heaven will not kill me. God will not kill me. He roared angrily. Heaven will not kill me. It's great. It's great. Ha ha ha. March 5th, 2012, the day I got the infinite crystal and stepped into the infinite world. He murmured, taking the crystal in his hand and stroking it as if he were seeing his favorite thing. How could I forget this? How could I forget? Since God will not kill me, his slightly childish face turned into a ferocious look. That means you all have to die. This time I want to see who kills whom. Alliance of gods, I, Xiaosheng, am reborn. I swear here at this moment, I will fight with you until death. Either you die or I die. Just wait for me, all of you. Without hesitation, he aimed the hexagonal crystal at his heart and stabbed it hard. Energy intake. Infinite crystal activated. Without any obstruction, the flesh and bones of the chest were like tofu, and the six-sided crystal penetrated directly through it and entered the heart. There was no pain at all. The crystal turned into something like water and merged into his heart. A pattern of hexagonal crystal appeared on his chest. The signing of the contract is completed. Hereby announce. A cold, mechanical voice echoed in his mind. This is a game. If you agree to the contract, you will enter the game. If you refuse, you will lose the infinite crystal and all the memories about the infinite crystal. This is not an ordinary game. It allows you to travel between various worlds. You may gain the power of gods and demons, but you may also die in it. There is no resurrection here, and there is no fairness here. Player Xiaosheng, are you willing to wander in this world of endless reincarnation? Confirm here. Are you sure you want to enter the game? Sure. The player personally confirmed that the infinite crystal was officially activated, scanning the body to generate an attribute list. Along with a mechanical sound, a golden list appeared in front of his eyes. Information number 1221. Strength, 5. Agility, 7. Physical, 4. Intelligence, 5. Tip. Strength is related to physical attack power and negative gravity. Agility is related to speed, jumping, and reaction ability. Physical strength is related to life values, defense, physical fitness, and resistance. Intelligence is related to mental values, spells, fantasy, and willpower. Each standard value for an adult man is 10. Attributes can be improved through attribute points obtained from missions or equipment and props. Health value, 20. Mental value, 25. These two values are 5 times the physical strength and intelligence. They are expressed in the blood tank and mana tank. If the health value is less than 1/10, you will enter a state of physical weakness. If the spirit is less than 1/10, you will enter a state of mental weakness. Please pay attention. It hasn't changed from the past. Such poor attributes show how difficult it was for Xiaosheng to enter the infinite world at that time, but it is different now. Xiaosheng is not the Xiaosheng of the past, but the reborn Xiaosheng. Then the first world probably hasn't changed. With a faint light in his eyes, he calmly opened the personal space given to him by the system, which contained a small gift package given by the system. Small life potion. Restores 20 points of health after use. Cooling time is 5 minutes. Small mental potion. Restores 20 points of mental value after use. Cooling time is 5 minutes. Talent stone. A stone that randomly obtains talents. As expected of the main god, he never gives good things. He held the talent stone calmly. The talent he got in his previous life was elemental affinity. Generally speaking, it was useless in the early stage and was good in the later stage. But in fact, judging from his attributes, his extremely low physical strength attribute was a big flaw. In the later stage of elemental affinity, it didn't make any sense compared to Xiaosheng, who was even difficult to beat in the early stage. Since his talents were basically useless, his early life was extremely difficult. Based on his specialties, he embarked on the path of an agile swordsman, and his so-called elemental affinity had not been upgraded at all. After crushing the stone, a faint white light blended into his body, making him feel warm all over. You got a D-level talent in Wanyang. Huh. Xiaosheng's plain face suddenly showed a little surprise. Did I hear you correctly? Warm Sun, D-level talent skill. After use, it restores 5% of the current upper limit of health every second, lasting for 10 seconds. It consumes 2 mental points. The cooling time is 10 minutes. It seems like I got lucky once I was reborn. Xiaosheng was very satisfied with this skill. It was a very useful skill for someone with attributes like his that were lower than those of a normal person. After all, attributes are calculated based on human body quality. It is common sense that low physical strength means low health points. Welcome to the Infinite World number 1221, Xiaosheng. As the voice of the cold machine became fainter, Xiaosheng felt that his consciousness began to blur. Novice World Selection. Selection completed. Naruto's transmission begins. I hope you can come back alive, number 1221, Xiaosheng. With a last voice, he lost consciousness. Dong dong dong. After an unknown amount of time, a rapid knock on the door woke Xiaosheng up. He opened his eyes and looked around, and found that this was no longer the bedroom he was familiar with, but another place. Dong dong dong. As if he noticed that Xiaosheng inside didn't answer, the knocking on the door became more urgent. Come on, come on. Xiaosheng came to his senses and stood up. He came to the door in 2 steps and opened it. Hello, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, who lives next door. Please take care of me. The first thing he saw was the dazzling golden boy. He was a boy like the sun, with dazzling blonde hair, pure sky blue eyes, a blush on his cute cheeks, and the cat's whiskers on the left and right trembling. Wearing orange clothes with swirls and an iron forehead protector on his head, if you look closely, you see that it is the protagonist of Naruto. Hello, I am Jing Sheng, who just moved here. Xiaosheng's expression did not change. As an old monster who has been in the infinite world for hundreds of years, he certainly would not lose his composure just because there was a protagonist standing in front of him. Of course, it is hundreds of years, but it is better to say that he has carried out dozens of missions. Each mission requires a very long period of time, which adds up to hundreds of years. Things like lifespan were just trivial in the eyes of Xiaosheng and others later. They would never be bothered by the so-called lifespan, because at that time, many of them had already become gods. The Alliance of Gods is a large alliance united by dozens of gods. You must know that the resources possessed by each god are terrifying. When they unite as one, it can no longer be summarized and described in words. Xiaosheng fought with them more than 10 times, and each time he won, he would gain a lot, but every time he was only 1 step away from death. And the most disgusting thing is that many of the gods in the Alliance of Gods know the art of resurrection. They resurrected people and then dragged him to exhaustion for more than a dozen missions. In the end, the trance was resolved. How frustrating this is. But things are different now. Which person in the Alliance of Gods has not experienced many missions in life and death before he can become a god? Now, they're just the same existence as him, but he is no longer. With hundreds of years of experience and countless information, is this damn infinite world still not his world? Alliance of Gods? I must turn you into a zombie alliance. No matter how complicated the interactivities were, Xiaosheng's appearance did not change at all. He said calmly, please take care of me. If you don't mind, why don't you come in and sit for a while? Is that okay? Naruto scratched his head in embarrassment. I'm not very lovable. He always cared about the fact that he was a 9-tailed demon fox, or it could be said that this incident cast an infinite shadow on him. It's okay. I just moved here. He led Naruto to the table and sat down, then came to the kitchen, then took out some tea leaves from the closet and started making tea. While making tea, he glanced to the right and saw passages of text slowly appearing on the wall. Naruto World. This is a large-scale anime plot world scene, difficulty D. Tip. The difficulty of this scene has nothing to do with the world difficulty. Turning on hidden, continuous, and side tasks may change the world difficulty. Tip. The Lord God will not issue any missions that require death. If players tamper with a plot arbitrarily or take actions that have a huge impact, the death situation will not be counted. Please note. Main mission. Take the Chunin exam and pass the second exam. If you fail the mission, you'll be erased. Warning. In view of the unknown situation that happened to number 1221, the difficulty of this world has been increased. Players, please pay attention. Did you notice it? He raised his eyebrows. It was not surprising that the Lord God noticed Xiaosheng. The real problem was that he didn't notice it. The Chunin exams in Naruto are extremely complicated, especially the second one. With a twinkle in his eye, Xiaosheng came outside with a tea set. I am no match for the Sound Ninja Trio and the Sand Ninja Trio with some unknown aids. Xiaosheng thought and said to Naruto, please use them. Thank you. Naruto said a little flattered. Please be careful of scalding your mouth. After giving the advice, Xiaosheng took a sip of tea and looked at Uzumaki Naruto with a hint of fear in his eyes. In this case, I will turn the so-called world upside down. The first target, Uzumaki Naruto, is you. The author has something to say. My background setting adopts unlimited flow and ace flow, so I will bring data. It is half science fiction and half online game. 31. Negotiating 9 tails. Will Naruto-kun take part in this Chunin exam? Xiaosheng decided to attack Naruto Uzumaki, so he had to be prepared. Yes, are you too? Naruto looked at Xiaosheng in surprise. To be honest, even Naruto now could see that Xiaosheng's body had not been trained at all. If Naruto wanted to fight him, it would only take 2 or 3 strikes. Yeah, me too. Xiaosheng smiled and nodded. He knew very well how bad his physical condition was. If he wanted to attack Uzumaki Naruto, he could only use other methods. Are you okay? Naruto looked at Xiaosheng's thin appearance with some suspicion, and then thought that he was too rude for speaking like that, and immediately apologized. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I understand what you want to say. I know my talent is not good. Xiaosheng's face looked gloomy. This is also my last test. If it fails, I will not continue to be a ninja. That's it. Naruto didn't know how to comfort Xiaosheng. He was scratching his head and had a faint look of confusion on his face. Naruto-kun. After a long silence, Xiaosheng and Naruto looked at each other. Naruto-kun, are you confident? Yes, of course. The pure sky blue eyes sparkled with a faint brilliance, like a destiny and spirit that would never give up, making people tremble in their hearts and be involuntarily attracted to them. Really? With a sigh, Xiaosheng started to move. Naruto-kun. Then he and Naruto chatted. As time went by, Uzumaki Naruto did not notice any surprise. On the contrary, the smile on Xiaosheng's face became deeper and deeper. That's it. With a flash of light in his eyes, he launched the action he had hidden until now. As soon as his eyes blurred, he appeared in a dirty sewer. There is water everywhere. The surrounding is dark, and countless water pipes extend in all directions. But according to Xiaosheng's keen sense, an extremely evil energy is constantly emanating from the deepest place, like a huge guiding light. Humph. With an unknown sneer, Xiaosheng walked to the deepest place without any care. Not long after walking, he saw a huge red iron cage. Before he could walk forward, a pair of scarlet pupils opened, and overwhelming evil thoughts and powerful power roared in. It's useless. This is the spiritual world. My spiritual power is completely beyond the human body. If I were outside, I wouldn't be able to survive for a second. But here, a sarcastic smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, and Xiaosheng was chatting and laughing amidst endless murderous intent and evil thoughts. Who are you? A slightly hoarse voice came, and the scarlet beast named Nine Tails, which was sealed in the iron cage, stood up, its 9 tails swaying wantonly, making a clinking sound. I am Jing Sheng. You can also call me Xiaosheng. Xiaosheng said lightly, 9-tailed demon fox, I need you. Oh, QB sneered. Just because you are so weak? With such a weak me, Xiaosheng was very calm. In the infinite world, he had seen this kind of words and looks countless times. In the past, he was unwilling to accept this, but now he is very calm. What's the price? QB said, and your purpose. My goal is the Sharingan. Xiaosheng smiled and rolled his eyes. I need your power for this. Sharingan, he stupid guy. QB sneered. You are not from the Uchiha clan. Regardless of whether you can adapt to and use the Sharingan perfectly, what can you do to Konoha with such a weak existence? So, I said I need your power, didn't I? Xiaosheng was still very calm, with a cold and arrogant color in his eyes. QB, you are a tailed beast with endless chakra. In addition, as a fox, you should know some illusions. I see. You want to get a supplementary source of chakra and how to use genjutsu from me, so you want to steal the Sharingan. QB was not a fool, and he guessed Xiaosheng's plan with a quick thought. Is your method good for me? No, QB said. In that case, how can I help you? Benefits? Well, what's the future like? Xiaosheng raised his eyebrows. About your future. I know the development of this world, the future of this world. Xiaosheng said, don't look at you looking so carefree now. You are already dead without knowing it. What do you mean? QB narrowed his eyes. Akatsuki. That is an organization created by a person who calls himself Madara Uchiha. They began to collect tailed beasts from all over the place, hoping to resurrect the monster with endless power in the moon in the sky. What did you say? Jiwei suddenly stood up. His whole face rushed into the sealed cage. His ferocious and bloody eyes stared at Xiaosheng. Are you telling the truth? Of course. Xiaosheng chuckled and said, I took advantage of the conversation to synchronize my mental power with Uzumaki Naruto and finally invaded his world and came here. It took a lot of effort to avoid those Zanbiu. Do you think I went to all that trouble just to tell you false news? If you are willing to lend me my power, I can tell you how to solve this problem. Xiaosheng said, you must know that you and Uzumaki Naruto are completely one and the same. If he dies, you will die too. And if it is taken away, it will be even worse. If he dies, you will spend a lot of time to resurrect. But if it is taken away, QB, you will be completely wiped out from the world. So, what's your choice? Xiaosheng is an outsider who knows the plot of the world. His so-called escape method is naturally Uzumaki Naruto. As long as they, a group of players in the life and death game, do not intervene to kill Uzumaki Naruto, then Uzumaki Naruto, who is the will of the world, will never die and the QB itself will be safe. Last question. Jiwei stared directly at Xiaosheng. What is your real purpose? Revenge. Xiaosheng's words stunned Jiwei, and then he laughed. Haraha, you're a strange person, but it is impossible for me to lend all my power to you. If I lend you, you will be dead. I will give you a seal, and my chakra will be continuously provided to you from that seal. I will also teach you how to use the illusion, but the illusion can only be used with my chakra. If it is fake, I don't need to say more about the consequences. He said coldly. And you are committing suicide by doing this. QB sneered. My chakra is extremely violent. Even if I use that seal to suppress it, it will continue to destroy your body and shorten your lifespan. And this seal will disappear the moment our transaction is completed. QB said, how about this? It's better than I imagined. So let's start quickly. Xiaosheng said lightly and saw a scarlet chakra burst out from Jiwei's body, slowly integrating into his body, turning into a strange flame mark. Go ahead. Unless it's the Manjikyu Sharingan, the illusion I gave you won't be noticed. The next second, Xiaosheng returned to reality. Although he talked to QB for a long time in that world, it only lasted for a second in reality. Side mission. Contract activated. You used unknown means to meet QB. You threatened QB's future danger and asked QB to give you the power to obtain the Sharingan, the Uchiha clan's strongest ability. QB agreed. At this point, you will obtain 2 temporary skills. Vulcan Seal. Fake the seal created by Ninetales can continuously transmit your chakra through the seal, allowing you to gain powerful power. After activation, all attributes are plus 10. 10% of the maximum life limit is restored every second, and the mental value is unlimited. Tip. This skill is only valid in this mission. Illusion. Foxheart Chaos Moon Technique. A large-scale illusion created using the Ninetales chakra that can hide all traces. It is a special illusion that can only be used with the Ninetales chakra. It cannot be broken by those with non-S level mental abilities and special abilities. Tip. This skill is only valid in this mission. After completing the mission, you will receive the Bloodline Sharingan. If you fail, it will be erased. Warning. In view of the behavior of number 1221 Xiaosheng, the difficulty of this novice world's mission has increased, and the main mission has changed. Main mission. Win the 3rd round of the Chunin exam. If the mission fails, it will be erased. Boring. Xiaosheng sneered in his heart, chatting with Naruto for a while with a smile on his face, and then sent him out. Tisk, TSK, what a magical skill. Both the Vulcan Seal and the Fox Heart Chaotic Moon Technique are first-class S-level magical skills. Even Xiaosheng, who later gained S-level and even higher-level skills, marveled at them. As for the shortened lifespan mentioned by QB, that kind of thing is just the Ninetales chakra that uses the potential of the human body to accelerate recovery, which is like creating regeneration. To them who are digitalized, it is nothing. And his ultimate goal is clear, the Sharingan. This is the most powerful pupil technique in the world of Naruto. Whether it's those gorgeous, life-threatening, abnormal level skills, or the terrifying potential to evolve into the Rinnegan, it can be seen that the Sharingan is truly the most powerful pupil technique. You must know that even Pain Samsara I was given by Uchiha Madara. In other words, from the beginning of the plot to the present, the 3 major pupil techniques are actually just 2 major pupil techniques. The Samsara Eye is the evolved form of the Sharingan Eye and does not need to be counted. So as long as he gets the Sharingan, it can be said that it doesn't matter how the main mission changes to him. After all, the so-called death situation is a situation that newcomers cannot handle, and anyone who enters it will die. But Xiaosheng obviously does not fall into this range. Originally, the Sharingan bloodline was an item. As long as Xiaosheng killed Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha Itachi, Kakashi, and others, there was a chance that it would be revealed. However, Xiaosheng obviously did not have this ability, so he directly adopted another method, using a mission to forcefully obtain the Sharingan bloodline at the cost of increasing the difficulty of the main mission. The Vulcan seal is opened. Following Xiaosheng's voice, an evil chakra continued to surge out of his body. In order to prevent this power from being sensed by Hokage, Danzo, and the others, he immediately activated another skill. Illusion, Fox Heart Chaotic Moon Technique. In an instant, all the aura on his body disappeared. The ability of this illusion can erase all his aura, including his own existence. It can be said to be an excellent ability to kill people in a sneak attack. But with his ability, let alone killing people, in order to pass the main mission, he had to go astray. If he took a wrong step, he would die. But as long as he gets through this most painful period, no one can stop Xiaosheng's rise. 42. Dangerous moves in military operations. It seems to be here. Relying on the endless nine-tailed chakra and the illusion, Xiaosheng boldly explored Konoha. Of course, he was not stupid enough to think that no one could detect it. He would check carefully every place he passed, and finally found an underground secret passage leading to the route in a secret and dark broken house. However, the secret passage must have a code, seal, or something else to open the secret passage. Of course, he himself would not know this. So he stayed here for several days and finally waited until someone came. As expected of Danzo, both his subordinates and the people around him are extremely vigilant. Xiaosheng secretly admired the old man wearing gauze standing there in front of him for dozens of minutes without any sign of panic. How is it? Suddenly, Danzo spoke. There is no tracking or presence of anyone. After a few swipes, several root ninjas appeared in front of Danzo. What a pity. Xiaosheng walked around, not afraid that a few people would find out. QB's Fox Heart and Chaotic Moon Technique is a technique that can erase all traces, including voice, appearance, chakra, and even the existence of a person. You have never discovered the possibility from the beginning to the end. Yes, I understand. Naturally, Danzo could not hear what Xiaosheng said, nor could he feel that Xiaosheng was standing next to him. Open! After making a few seals, Danzo shouted and saw the floor tiles floating on the ground, and a secret passage appeared. Let's go. Xiaosheng followed them down the secret passage. After a closer look, the secret passage was indeed worthy of its name. It was very dark everywhere, and there were only a few candles lit there, barely able to see the way. Answer me, what happened recently? Not in the mood to watch the interaction between Danzo and his men, Xiaosheng relied on the power of the illusion given by QB and began to wander around the complex space while making subtle marks to prevent him from getting lost. While walking along the way, he basically didn't see many people, but he saw a lot at the door. But he couldn't open it because he knew there must be many agencies in a place like this. After wandering around for a long time, Xiaosheng finally saw a person. He was a middle-aged man in a medical ninja costume. Now he happened to come to a door and opened it. It looks like you're lucky. Taking advantage of the gap, when the medical ninja opened the door, he quickly rushed over and entered. Then he didn't have time to look around, so he turned to look at the medical ninja to see what he was going to do. There is nothing wrong with it. The medical ninja muttered to himself and closed the door. Phew, it turned out to be an inspection. Heaving a sigh of relief, Xiaosheng began to observe his surroundings. Is this a human experiment? Xiaosheng's expression did not change as he looked at the various human organs around him. He had seen mountains of corpses and seas of blood, and was he still afraid of a small human experiment? I'm just a little surprised by Danzo's boldness. TSK, that's a big deal. Looking at the eyeballs in the test tubes, which numbered at least hundreds, Xiaosheng felt that things had changed after his rebirth. He touched each one with his hand, and a series of beeps came from his ears. Discovered Sharingan, mission prop, matching rate 0.5%. Discovered Sharingan, mission prop, matching rate 3.2%. Discovered Sharingan, mission prop, matching rate 6.7%. Discovered Sharingan, mission prop, matching rate 98%. The Sharingan was found, a mission prop, and the matching rate is 97%. After hearing the Lord God's prompt, Xiaosheng did not hesitate to put the two Sharingans with extremely high matching rates into his personal space, and then search nearby to see if he could find another thing he wanted. Discover Senju Hashirama cells, A-level bloodline items, and you can obtain the bloodline of the Senju clan. The success rate is unknown. Tip: When the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan holder uses this prop, there is an 85% chance of fusion into the Rinnegan Eye, 10% failure, and 5% mutation. You can also pay 30,000 reward points and 5 gold skill points to successfully fuse into the Rinnegan Eye. Tip: when the Mangekyo Sharingan holder uses this prop, there is a 60% chance of merging into the Rinnegan Eye, a 30% chance of failure, and a 10% chance of mutation. You can successfully fuse into the Rinnegan Eye by paying 45,000 reward points and 8 gold skill points. Tip: when the Sharingan holder uses this item, there is a 20% chance of merging into the Rinnegan Eye and a 65% chance of failure. With a 15% mutation, you can also pay 70,000 reward points and 15 gold skill points to successfully fuse into the Rinnegan Eye. Great harvest. To be honest, Xiaosheng didn't care about the evolved version of the Sharingan, the Rinnegan, because it was too difficult. Getting Senju Hashirama cells was just a matter of chance of success. But just to be on the safe side, he took 2 more Sharingan eyes that matched him more than 90% of the time. If the fusion failed, he was ready to replace the eyes. Next, it's time to evacuate. After hiding next to the door and waiting for a long time, someone finally opened the door. He took advantage of this moment to leave the room and then quickly returned to the original route. The pile of marks he made along the way to ensure that he didn't get lost were just for this moment. In order to delay time, he changed the positions of a large number of test tubes in the laboratory so that they generally looked like there was no trace of anything being taken away. There won't be any problems if you don't observe carefully. And when they discover the problem, they will definitely search extensively. Since they can't see Xiaosheng, they will definitely think that Xiaosheng has left the secret passage. Therefore, as long as Xiaosheng waits for the opportunity near the secret passage, he can escape when they open the door. This is it. When he came to the exit of the secret passage, he waited for a long time as before, and soon he saw many root personnel running around quickly, seemingly aware of Xiaosheng's movements. Open! After waiting for a while, a few people rushed to the exit of the secret passage, made a few seals, and immediately opened the secret passage. Xiaosheng went out with them, and then watched them fly away into the distance with a faint sneer on his face. It's so pitiful. The prisoner is always by your side. After pretending to be emotional, Xiaosheng immediately returned to where he lived. I don't know if the Lord God saw that he was safe, but the reminder that the mission was completed finally came. The side mission contract is completed, and the Bloodline Sharingan is obtained. Sharingan, D-level, can evolve Bloodline, also known as the art of spiritual reflection. It is the bloodline limit of the Uchiha clan. It consumes 1 point of mental value every second after it is turned on. The evolutionary stages of the Sharingan are divided into 5 stages, and the way of evolution is the negative emotions in the heart.